And we are live. Welcome for this weekly live stream on the latest and greatest news in Ethereum and DeFi. I do this every Monday at 11 p.m. UTC plus 8. And if you don't know me, I'm Julian, your host, and on my channel, Eat the Blocks, I explain blockchain technology. And if you want to get started in the industry, make sure to register for my free training, how to become a professional blockchain developer. This is a free training. If you are new on my channel, you have to go through this training. All right. So, hi to people in the chat. We already have a couple of people here. It's amazing. Hi, Ahad. Hi, Eric. Ayodeji. Tisui. Aqua Lodge. Yes. Okay, let's get started with the meme of the week. So it was a tough week with really a lot of dips. And so, it's funny, kind of before the dip, you think, yeah, man, I'm strong. When I see the dip, I'm just going to FOMO in and just buy a lot of it. But actually during the dip is super scary because you don't want to be catching falling knife. So, what's happening on Ethereum this week? Well, it wasn't a great week because it just basically kept falling. At some point, it was even down to $1,314, which really suck. And finally, we start to see a rebound. So if you are new to crypto, maybe you're impressed by this, but really, this is nothing to be worried about. I mean, we knew that there would be some turbulences. It's not going to be a straight line to 10,000, right? Otherwise, it'd be too easy. So yeah, it's going to shake some weak hands, but I don't really care. It's fine. It's going to go back up. And so in terms of the gas price, is still insanely high, even though we had this big decrease in the Ether price. So we have EIP 1559, which is going to be introduced in the London hard fork in July this year. So this is supposed to reduce payment to miners, and it's also going to reduce a bit the gas cost. See, it's quite a controversial EIP with miners, obviously, who are not happy about it, of course. I feel like miners got paid enough already. I'm not going to shed some tears from them. They are paid to do a job. They are really well paid, and it's an adjustment. And so in the end, they are going to accept it because they have no other choice. So then a quick point on Ethereum 2.0. So we have reached the threshold of 100,000 validators. So it's a very important threshold. And when you compare this with the other blockchain and especially all the so-called Ethereum killer, you can really see the power of Ethereum. This is vastly more decentralized than other protocols. Big difference here. All right, so now let's see what's happening for the market cap of DeFi. So the market cap tanked because of the collapse of Ether, of course. But if you check in terms of the number of Ether locked in DeFi, actually we are pretty resistant. We are on a high plateau. So to me, this metrics is actually more important. Okay, so next, let's see how are we doing on the rates this week. Actually, it's pretty boring. In the past few weeks, it was really crazy, 10, 15, 20%. But now we are back at like more boring levels, so nothing too crazy on this side. In terms of the top DeFi token, it was a bad week. So we do have some green, but really not a lot of them. So we have a Unify Protocol DAO, which is a multi-chain DeFi DAO. It just launched. We have UFT of Uniland Finance. It's a coin with trading services and lending borrowing functionality. Then we have the Orion Protocol, ORN, which want to aggregate the liquidity of all exchanges, centralized and decentralized across all blockchain. This is really a very ambitious project. I don't even know how they can have the resource to do all of this, because whenever you want to do some integration, maybe it looks easy, but actually it's extremely time consuming. And then TrustSwap is also doing well. So 1 week ago, They did really well after they released a new website and they added payment with credit card. And this week, so they keep pumping. Then we have Duck of the Unit Protocol, which is a lending protocol, also pumping. We have Serum, which is a DEX on Solana. This is built by the FTX team, which is a centralized exchange. And then in the loser, it's real bloodbath here. We have a ton of loser like Dodo, which was pumping next week. Really big drop here. Curve, Cream, Wi-Fi. I mean, really a lot of the famous DeFi protocol here are tanking really hard. All right, so you know what? Let's not waste too much time on the loser. I mean, it's only going to make us depressed. There is no point. So let's check out the news of DeFi projects. So first, I wanted to share with you this dashboard that allow you to inspect the money made by liquidation and arbitrage. So here you have a drill down. So people often ask me, oh Julian, can we still make money with flash loan liquidation, etc.? Of course we still can. Of course this is very competitive, but here you can see that we are really talking of hundreds of millions of dollars. So super useful dashboard here. Okay, so next I'm going to talk of one of the main news of this week, which is Optimism. So Optimism just raised 25 million from A16Z. So A16Z is one of the most famous VC in Silicon Valley, and Optimism, it's one of the leading L2 scaling solution for Ethereum. It uses optimistic rollup to achieve a far lower fee, far lower latency, and far greater throughput compared to the Ethereum layer. So let me quote some part of the article because it's quite interesting. While there is little debate that scaling Ethereum is necessary to continue supporting the rapid growth of the network, this issue is sometimes framed as a competition between Ethereum 2.0 layer 2 and Ethereum killer layer 1. So yeah, like you're on crypto Twitter, sometimes you see people sort of framing the war as if it's Ethereum versus Cardano, etc. No, it's the war will be between this Ethereum killer and the layer 2 of Ethereum. Okay, another interesting quote I saw is, one lesson from internet history is that when you give developers a powerful new computing platform, they create applications at such a rapid rate that demand consistently outpace supply. We believe the same will be true for Ethereum, and therefore that the answer to scaling is all of the above, including Ethereum 2.0, bridge, layer 1's, layer 2 solution. Yeah, so developer, basically, they always max out the capacity of the platform. Exactly when in a city, you try to enlarge the road, you build more highway. History has shown us that the cars always find a way to maximize the utilization of the road. So it's exactly the same for software and platform. So another very good news about Optimism is that it's going to launch in weeks, not months. So that's really amazing, because that means potentially Ethereum could have a gold rush like what we saw on Binance Smart Chain, but in much bigger. Also, I found this opinion interesting on Twitter. So let me see, is it I think it was here. Where was it? Oh yeah, where was it? Oh, I lost it. But basically, one of the tweets was saying that Coinbase will go all in supporting the native deposit withdrawal to Optimism, so that we can have cheap and zero cost onboarding while never touching L1. So this is really key if we want retail adoption. We don't want to go through L1. We want to go through directly from fiat to L2, and this is going to happen after this big investment in Optimism. Another interesting opinion I saw on Twitter is that Uniswap V3 could launch on Optimism next month. That will be really a huge breakthrough, because really Uniswap is the main DEX on Ethereum. Then we're gonna continue with some news on DYDX. So DYDX just opened the early access for users to test out the cross-margin perpetual trading on layer 2. So some advanced trading feature they're going to release on layer 2, and they created this layer 2 in partnership with the technology of Starkware. So it took them 7 months to build this on layer 2. And so the main advantages for trader will be trading with zero gas cost, reduced minimum trade size, so you don't need to be a whale in order to trade, and also instant trading. So this L2 was custom built by DYDX. So it would have been better if it was a general purpose layer 2, so that we have more composability between DeFi protocols. But recently we started to see some projects that want to unify the different L2 scaling solution. And one of these projects is called Connect. So if Connect succeed, it doesn't matter that DeFi is scattered across many different L2. We will still have composability. All right, so next news about Balancer and Aave. So they form a new partnership. So Balancer is going to release its V2 this year. And so in the V2, the assets of Balancer will not stay idle in liquidity pools, but instead they will be invested in Aave to generate some yield. And this will probably be passed on to a liquidity provider. So a small buffer of tokens will be kept in Balancer liquidity pools for gas efficiency, so that when a trader wants to trade on Balancer, Balancer doesn't have to systematically take some money out of Aave. So it's a gas optimization. So it's really a great example of the composability in DeFi. DeFi protocols working together can be worth much, much more than just institutions in traditional finance who always compete with each other and they work in isolated silos. So this is a clear example of how DeFi is superior. All right, so next we're gonna move on with DFX, which is a DeFi protocol that raised $5 million. They are building a decentralized exchange for foreign stablecoins. It's the first time I hear this word. So foreign stablecoins are stablecoins that are not pegged to the dollar. For example, it could be a stablecoin for euro, for Chinese yuan, etc. So it's a little bit like Curve Finance, but with a different focus. Yeah, I'm pretty bullish on that. Then news about the Cover Finance protocol, which is a protocol for insurance on DeFi. So they're going to introduce credit default swap, also called CDS in traditional finance. So without getting into the detail of how it works, it's basically a debt, something related to rates, interest rate, and it's really for advanced user in traditional finance. Retail investor, they never deal with CDS. It's only institution, only hedge fund, really advanced investors. And so CDS, it's really what triggered the 2008 crisis. So I hope we don't do the same thing on the blockchain. But yeah, on the other hand, it's kind of nice to see really DeFi getting more and more sophisticated, because we're going to see some big player arriving in DeFi once we have all of these instruments. All right, so then some news about Badger DAO. So this is a DAO focused on DeFi, and where so DeFi on Ethereum, where the reserve is tokenized Bitcoin, not Ether. So they have a yield farming aggregator called SET and an elastic rebase token pegged to Bitcoin called DIG. So it's really a niche. I'm not aware of any project that does this. And so last week, Badger DAO announced a new product called Yield Dollar. It's a sort of stablecoin. Of course, the explanation is very simplified here. And this allows you to do some yield farming also. And so it's inspired by something called Yield Dollar on the UMA protocol. And yeah, so Badger DAO, very niche on Ethereum. It's basically Bitcoin DeFi on Ethereum. All right, so then we're going to talk of some hack here. So first hack of Armor. So $1.2 million of token were stolen from a team member, and this was done thanks to social engineering. So how it happened? So it happened in the Telegram group of Armor, and so the hacker pretended to be a whale who wanted to trade some token. And so usually they, so it's in this case, we do what we call a OTC trade. That means peer-to-peer. So usually Armor, they have an OTC broker to do this trade, but at this time the OTC broker wasn't available. So a team member volunteered in order to be the escrow, so the intermediary basically. So the hacker was supposed to send him the token. It's basically, yeah, it was supposed to be the intermediary between the two parties. And that guy, from what I understand, he didn't really do a good job of confirming that the hacker actually sent the token. He thought that it was confirmed, but it wasn't. And so he sent the other leg of the transaction, and the payment for that never arrived basically. So yeah, it sucks. And you know, we always think that in the popular culture, people always think that hackers are some guys like wearing some hoodies and being like super hardcore programmer. But actually, a lot of time hackers don't need to be super hardcore user. It can be just people who do social engineering. For example, they will call some secretary, the secretary of like a top CEO, and they will put her under pressure. They will pretend to be some other executive and then say, yeah, like I'm really busy. I'm in a hurry. I need this info quickly. What's the password? And sometimes they manage to impress people like this. So yeah, it's social engineering can be super, super dangerous. Then another hack is Furu Combo. Unfortunately, yeah, so actually Furu Combo, they are based here in Taiwan. And so they were hacked of $14 million. So what happened? How did they lose money? So the attacker tricked Furucombo into thinking that their contract was a new version of Aave. And from there, what happened is that Furucombo, basically when you use it, its users have to give some approval for so they need to allow certain DeFi protocol to spend their token. And so there are two ways to do this approval. Either you approve for just the token you need to spend, or you do infinite approval. And so infinite approval, this is really a bad practice. And in this case, it was exploited because basically people gave the infinite approval for various DeFi protocol, including Aave. And so Furucombo thought that the smart contract of the attacker was Aave, and so this smart contract was able to drain a lot of the funds of the user. Yeah, so that sucks. So the moral of the story is to never do infinite approval. All right, and yeah, if you're interested in knowing more, you can check out this Twitter thread. There is a very detailed analysis of what happened. All right, so next we're gonna see some news from Brave. So Brave announced that they are going to redesign their crypto wallet, and they're also going to include a DEX aggregator with possibly Brave own liquidity pool and maybe on the L2. So it's kind of similar to MetaMask and the DEX that they introduced. So Brave has been really killing it recently with a very, very strong growth. So yeah, I'm all in for Brave. Brave is really the crypto-friendly web browser. All right, so next we're gonna talk of Coinbase. So Coinbase is going public soon on the Nasdaq in the US, and it's expected to have a valuation of $100 billion. And so they published their S1 form, which is, like everybody knows, a required filing before a company goes public. No, actually, I do remember this because I did a finance class. So yeah, I remember this name, the S1 filing. And so this document gives us some info on the financial situation of Coinbase, including its crypto holdings and also other financials. So for example, they've made 322 million of net income in 2020. And the CEO, Brian Armstrong, got paid 59 million in 2020. Well, pretty nice. Yeah, but with his share, it's probably a billionaire already, actually. All right, so next, let's move on to Tether. So Tether just settled a 2-year lawsuit with the New York Attorney General. And so they paid 18 million as fine for having hidden some losses, and they agreed to publish quarterly reserves for Tether. So I think it's going to help a lot to really ease investors, because that was a big thing against a big accusation against Tether. We weren't sure if they really had the reserve or not. So I'm happy because this is going to conclude the drama for Tether, and we can just go back to business. And Tether is the stablecoin with the biggest circulation, very used in DeFi on Ethereum. So we do need trust in Tether. It's very, very important. All right, so then let's talk a little bit about regulation. So SEC. So at the SEC, Hester Pierce, not sure how to pronounce it. So that's an official at the SEC. He's known to be really crypto friendly, and he wrote an article in support of crypto where he reminded regulators that their role is to protect investors and markets, not the interest of incumbent players who, I quote, long ago learned how to take advantage of existing frameworks. So it's a bit simplistic to think that on one side we have the crypto world and on the other side we have traditional finance. Crypto has more and more friends in the world of traditional finance, and it's going to be very, very helpful. But not everybody is crypto friendly. Like Yellen, she's the secretary, the secretary of the Treasury. Yeah, she's not supportive of crypto at all. And so recently she made some comment where she criticized Bitcoin, and she said that it was extremely inefficient. I think she was mentioning energy. So yeah, I mean, I think Yellen hasn't really had a lot of time to study crypto. So hopefully some of her advisor can change her mind a little bit. And talking of the government, the Fed system that allowed bank to transfer money was down for a time. Interesting. Well, Ethereum is never down. All right. So then let's talk briefly of other blockchains. So Alameda Research invested 35 million into the Fantom Foundation. So Alameda Research was founded in 2017. This is a leading research and trading firm, and they built the FTX exchange that you guys probably know. And Fantom is building a highly scalable blockchain. That we also called Ethereum killer. I mean, it's one of the many Ethereum killer. And yeah, so they receive a lot of money to work on the blockchain. All right, so next, briefly some news for developers. So Truffle, the main framework for smart contract, just released a new version, and so they're now going to support multiple Solidity version in the same project. That means you can easily include files from other projects and interact with them more easily. So that was a big pain before dealing with smart contract of different versions, but now it will be dealt with more easily. And also, second update, there will be a new system to record smart contract metadata, and this is called TruffleDB. So ultimately, the plan is to replace the JSON file that are produced when you compile and deploy smart contract. They've been working on this for a long time, and so since it's a really big change, for now it's opt-in only, but you need to learn how to use it because in the future it's going to be the default. Oh yeah, and the last thing I wanted to show you is a new tool of Etherscan that this is basically a diff checker. So you input two different addresses, and it's going to tell you if the code of these two smart contracts is different. All right. So now we are going to do the Q&A, and briefly, I put the link to my free training if you want to become a professional blockchain developer and get your first blockchain job. Check my free training. If you are new to my channel, you have to take this free training. It's obligatory. I will check. Okay. Okay. So let me scroll up a little bit and see the question. So who do we have here? Fedel. Hey. Nilesh. Hello. Corporal Poon. Hey. Which one of your courses do you recommend first for someone of a beginner? I'm full stack web dev only. Okay. Very good question. Yeah. So I recommend six-figure blockchain developer. So let me put it in the chat. So there is the basic package and the jump starter one, but since you're already full stack web dev, you can take the basic one. Nilesh saying Duck is related to DuckDuckGo. No, I think it's misleading. This is another project, I believe. Batman, hey, good to see you. Zion Sky, hi. Batman saying CDO are garbage. Oh yeah. Fada saying DFX is an actual solution for corrupt countries with collapsing economies like Lebanon. Oh yeah, I've heard about all the problem in Lebanon and with the national currency that is super devalued. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, it really sucks. Okay. Then I think this is it. Well, today the Q&A is going to be pretty short. Oh, hey, abracadabra. Yeah. Oh, okay. Question from IODG. Any flash loan service on BSC? I think I received an email about this. I mean, I need to check my email, but I think someone asked me about this. Maybe, but you know, like the boom of DeFi on Binance Smart Chain is still very early. So flash loan, this is not really the priority. So probably, yeah, I'm not sure about that. I will do some research and I will tell you guys if we have some flash loan on Binance Smart Chain. Faraz, hi for Azerbaijan. Faraz, where should I start to fork Uniswap or PancakeSwap? Well, you are in luck because on my channel I have 2 videos about this. So you just search on YouTube fork Uniswap, fork PancakeSwap, and yeah, you'll find my videos. Fadel, can anyone create a foreign stable coin on FTX? FTX, this is a centralized exchange, so you cannot create anything. It's just that I think I mentioned that the team. Yeah, no, you cannot do this. I cannot do this. Aman, PancakeSwap question mark. Yeah, PancakeSwap is basically the equivalent of Uniswap but on Binance Smart Chain. It's basically a copy paste of Uniswap, and yeah, but just on Binance Smart Chain. THX, hey, good to see you. Yes, Bernardo Madeira. Hi, one question. Is there space for blockchain token based like Bezu on DeFi? What do you mean? Because Bezu is a version of Ethereum for enterprise blockchain. So there isn't, you cannot really have DeFi in enterprise blockchain, which use private network. Yeah. Bernardo, great channel, by the way. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, Fadel say, okay. So let me go up because Fadel meant to ask me about DFX. So can anyone create a foreign stablecoin on DFX? I'm not sure if, well, I think probably it's going to be like Uniswap, where it's permissionless DEX, where anybody can create liquidity pool. I would think that they use this model. Yeah. Abracadabra, question for Julian. All the fork of Pancake will it end as fork of Wi-Fi, abandoned and dead? Yeah, probably. Usually we have a lot of hype at the beginning. We have some crazy API. You can do some yield farming like crazy, and after people move on to something else. Yeah, but some people will manage to do something long term. Yeah. Gilles, hey, hello Julian. Hey Gilles. Aman, can you cover flash loan using Binance Smart Chain? Well, a lot of questions about flash loan on Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, I will definitely do some research. We will see if there is any provider of flash loan on Binance Smart Chain. All right. I think this is it. Yeah. No, but it's a shorter Q&A session tonight. But I like it. It was like short but to the point. Very, very concise. All right, guys. All right. So yeah, thanks for coming. And yeah, and I'll see you later this week on my channel. Have a great week, guys. Yeah. Bye bye.